All right. So I just want to make a point before we jump into a little bit of TA stuff here, is that uh, with Olympus DAO, OHM, and Wonderland.money, time is the TIME is the ticker. I believe it's extremely important to not just be sitting and holding those. You'll notice that Olympus DAO has 91% of its supply staked. That's for a reason, because if you don't stake it, you run the risk of getting diluted and the token value dropping very rapidly, right? The thing's supposed to be pegged to $1, yet it's over $1,000 right now because people are paying a premium to get the staking reward. So it's very important not to buy OHM or time and just sit on it and not stake it, right? So it's incredibly important to either stake it or to buy it, to mint it / bond it at a discount, and then either turn around and sell it right away or stake it. I just want to make that very, very clear so people aren't buying OHM expecting it to go, and it may continue to go up, right? These only up, quote unquote, tokenomics are very hot right now in a bull market. It's very reminiscent of Hex, which again, completely different tokenomics, but the idea behind the tokenomics of locking up and staking most of the supply is the same. And Hex was able to go to the top 3 cryptocurrencies by market cap, right? So these projects that have these tokenomics that incentivize staking, incentivize hodling, right, and disincentivize selling are very hot, and they can perform extremely well. But it's very important in the case of Olympus DAO and Wonderland Money that you actually do stake those. One other note on Wonderland Money: it's the same dev. Wonderland Money was forked over to Avalanche, the same dev who created Abracadabra.money, which is the 2 tokens there are MIM, which is Magic Internet Money. It's the 6th largest stablecoin now, and Spell Token, right? So he's building integrations, already has built integrations between Abracadabra.money and Magic Internet Money from Abracadabra, from the Ethereum ecosystem over to AVAX's Wonderland.money, right? So there's a lot of market cap and TVL sitting within Abracadabra.money that is potentially going to be easily pipelined over into Wonderland.money, which is very interesting. The last point I'll make is Wonderland Money being on AVAX has much lower gas fees, and some of these strategies for staking and bonding and minting your OHM are very transaction intensive. And in that regard, Wonderland Money does have an advantage in low gas fees. So just something to keep in mind, right? Now, obviously, the Ethereum ecosystem contains much more money, right, than the AVAX ecosystem right now. So that's kind of your trade-off. All right. I want to give a potential entry point for Near Protocol. Near Protocol has been very, very hot recently. There's a lot of people that are looking for an entry because of recent fundamental changes that I'm not going to get into. I'm just going to keep things technical here. But there's reason to believe that Near Protocol could reprice much higher than what it's currently at, right? So we had this support at $6.30, right? And we've since doubled. Why did we get resistance here at 1260? We got resistance there because it's the 2x margin pressure level. It's the point at which you can no longer go long on 2x leverage on Near Protocol and have your liquidation point hiding under this support level here at $6.30, right? So the trade that I always like to look for is a bounce between the 2x level and the 3x level. Now, it may be that Near Protocol is hot right now and doesn't give you a chance to get in. Solana if we jump over to Solana really quickly, right? Solana between $3, around $3, once it started breaking out here, didn't give you a chance, any breather until like $12, right? And then it didn't give you a breather until it got to $58, and then eventually came all the way back down to 19 if you were able to buy the bottom wicks here, right? So if Near Protocol gets going, these layer ones have been able to reprice very, very aggressively, very quickly. So there's no guarantee that you'll be able to get in, but That being said, I still would not force an entry. I'd rather let a trade slip away than take a high risk bad trade. So the entry point that I'd personally be looking for near protocol is this retest of the 3x long level, which you can see there was resistance. There's a little bit of resistance down here at this level, right? We struggled to break it multiple times over here as well. So I'd personally be looking for an entry between $9 and $10, probably $9.50 and $10. Right. And if we come down below that, right, if Bitcoin breaks down to $53,000, which again, I think is less likely. But if we do see a correction of Bitcoin down to 53, 54K in the coming days or weeks, right, I'd look for an entry point in your protocol at $6.30. And at $6.30, I'd say this is a strong buy, like a very strong buy down here. But I think a solid entry point is anywhere between $9.50 and $10 here for near protocol. Now, Helium Network, we love Helium Network over here at Token Metrics. And Helium just had a partnership with Dish Network, right? So we're getting a little bit of a breakout. But I wanted to show you how Helium Network really, it's given people a lot of chances to get in. It's given people a lot of chances to get in. It's gone completely sideways right into the trend line and then started moving again off of this trend line, but then quickly came back and revisited this trend line at its support around $16.20. If we project the 2x long margin pressure level off of this $16.20, we get 32.40. So that's a price target where I'd expect some resistance to come in for Helium, maybe another trip back down to the trend line. Now, what could also happen if we go all the way back to late 2020, what did they do to Helium? They chopped it right outside of its trend line. They chopped it sideways and it moved right through its trend line before going back, retesting, trying to get in, got rejected, and eventually broke through on top of it, made support on top of it, and then completely repriced from this $1 and change range all the way up to $10 to $20, right? Without giving a lot of opportunities to get in, right? So I'm not saying that that's going to happen, but if they do take it outside of this trend line, I'd potentially be looking to get in this, new channel that would be developed, right? This new channel that would potentially be developed, right? We had our channel between $10 and $20, right? And now we've started to make $20 support, right? So while Helium is trading at $26.57, historically, it's given a lot of chances to get back in. So I'm not sure I would personally rush an entry on Helium. I'd be a little bit more patient. And guys, if it goes to $32 and comes back to the trend line, and you can probably get in at $26 there. Otherwise, I'd let them take it outside of this trend line. And I'd look for an entry at around $20, which has been the new support level. In fact, recently they tried to take it below $20, right? They tried to test it below $20, all right? And then it pushed back above and made support at $20 and started moving higher. We've got this nice series of higher lows and higher highs, right? Which is very bullish, right? It's following this trend line nicely. So do I think Helium from here is going to rapidly 10x? No, because it's quite possible, but the easy money, the big repricing has already happened, right? And we're already aware of 5G. We're aware of Dish Network. Now, those can be catalysts that play out for a long time. And Helium Network can be a really nice play here, following along this trend line. But I wouldn't get your hopes up and think that, over the next month or so that it's going to go to, $300 or something crazy like that, right? I think Helium Network is just going to be a very strong play, even in a bear market potentially, right? So if you want to get into Helium Network, that's the two places. I'd wait for it to come up to 32.40 and get resistance and then get in at the same price that it's at today, right? Or I'd let them take it outside of the trend line here and look for an entry at around $20, right? A little bit more conservative to wait for a return to $20, but of course not guaranteed. Now, I do want to jump over to Ethereum just really quickly because we saw this strong support at $3,900 yesterday. We had this, they tried to take it below 4K where we know we have a strong 3x long margin pressure level, right? Once the price drops below $4,000 on Ethereum, you can then go in on 3x leverage and hide your liquidation point below this local low. So that's what we saw happen yesterday. Bitcoin started crashing. Ethereum started coming down along with it, just like all other cryptocurrencies in the market. However, with Ethereum, as soon as it started dropping below 4K, we saw these buyers ready to come in. We saw people ready to come in long on Ethereum on 3x leverage to bid this back up above $4,000. In fact, we saw smart money start to buy up the Ethereum right here as well. Right? Ethereum is becoming ultra scarce. Now, if we get a macro correction out of Bitcoin, if we see Bitcoin go down to 53K, of course, it's going to wash out ETH with it, probably to 3,400, right? But I'm not sure how many opportunities Ethereum's really going to give to jump in, right? If you recall, all along, Ethereum likes to have these little small corrections until the market just gets very volatile, right? When the market gets volatile and Bitcoin crashes, of course, Ethereum is going to crash with it. But Ethereum just not giving you a lot of chances. It's just, it likes to trade, or so far this bull market, it's like to trade in a very tight range. Now, look at this trend over time. This is actually a pretty big move out of Ethereum, right? This is $300 to $682. This is over 100% move. Right. And then it moved aggressively. So then it didn't even give you a dip, right? It didn't even give you a dip to get back in. So Ethereum will play this game where it just doesn't really give you any relief. The biggest correction down here was just back down to this general trend range, a 24% correction. But that was after, right? The 24% correction was after a 30% pump. A 4-day 30% pump, right? So these corrections for Ethereum can be very, very small. So we're talking about buying on a red day. I mean, there's buyers down here just waiting to buy up Ethereum as soon as it drops, as long as the rest of the market stays bullish. But the supply for Ethereum is dropping. So long term, we're expecting Ethereum to just continue to trickle up, continue to move up with occasional big bursts when the market does get volatile. Right. So hope that was helpful. A little bit more hands-on, very kind of precise TA, trying to pick entry and exit points, trying to make this applicable for you guys. Of course, not financial advice, but let me pass it back over to our host, Bill.
Token Metrics is a cryptocurrency investment platform that helps users leverage machine learning to become better crypto investors. Our in-depth analysis helps eliminate the emotions of investing, find profitable investment opportunities, and filters out scams. Learn more at tokenmetrics.com.